Welcome to my channel. Get ready for a spine-chilling experience as you listen to this horror story before you go to sleep. Turn off the lights, get comfortable, and let the eerie tale unfold. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more thrilling stories. Press like if you enjoy the content, and share it with your friends who love a good scare. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the story, if you dare. The Headless Curse. A group of 5 teenagers, Adam, Sarah, Kevin, Lisa, and Mark, stood at the edge of the dense, moonlit forest, staring at the old, abandoned cemetery beyond the rusted iron gate. The night air was thick with the scent of damp earth, and an eerie silence hung around them. Their mission: to prove the existence of the headless ghost of Black Hollow Cemetery. According to legend, a man had been executed here centuries ago for a crime he didn't commit. Filled with rage and sorrow, his spirit had been cursed to roam the graveyard, seeking vengeance. Those who dared to summon him would either lose their heads or their sanity.
It's just a stupid story.
Kevin scoffed, lighting a cigarette.
People just make this stuff up.
Sarah shivered.
Then why do so many people say they've seen him?
Only one way to find out.
Mark said, pulling out a small book of old rituals they had found online.
We do the summoning, and if nothing happens, we walk away as winners.
Lisa hesitated.
Guys, this doesn't feel right. What if—
Don't back out now.
Adam interrupted.
We agreed.
Reluctantly, Lisa nodded. The ritual begins. They stepped inside the cemetery, the rusty gate creaking shut behind them. The cold seemed to seep into their bones as they gathered around an ancient tombstone, cracked and covered in moss. Mark opened the book and read aloud.
Spirit of the Headless One, show yourself to those who dare to see. From beyond the veil, we summon thee.
A gust of icy wind howled through the cemetery, making the trees sway violently. The candle Kevin had placed flickered, almost going out. Lisa clutched Sarah's arm,
maybe we should stop?
but Mark ignored her and continued.
If you are here, give us a sign.
The wind stopped abruptly. For a moment, everything was unnaturally silent. The group exchanged nervous glances. Then, a distant whisper floated through the air. You called me. Kevin dropped his cigarette.
Did you guys hear that?
The whisper grew louder, turning into a guttural growl.
Leave before it's too late.
Sarah let out a small scream.
Stop it! Let's go!
But before anyone could move, the ground beneath them rumbled. The candle blew out. A foul stench of rotting flesh filled the air. Then, they saw him. The headless ghost appears. A tall, shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, standing just beyond the tombstones. Its body was clad in tattered clothing, soaked in dried blood. It had no head. Lisa clutched Adam's arm, too terrified to scream. The ghost raised its hand, pointing at them.
You have summoned me. Now you shall pay.
A deafening shriek erupted from the figure, shaking the very ground beneath them. The chase begins. Panic surged through the group.
Run!
Adam shouted. They turned and sprinted toward the gate, their breaths ragged. But the cemetery seemed larger now, as if it had stretched itself into an endless maze. Kevin looked back. The headless ghost was gliding after them, moving unnaturally fast. Mark tripped over a tree root, crashing onto the ground.
Help me!
Adam and Kevin rushed back, grabbing him by the arms. But before they could lift him, an invisible force yanked Mark backward, dragging him across the dirt.
No! Please, no!
Lisa screamed. The ghost's skeletal hand grasped Mark's face, and suddenly, his head twisted violently with a sickening snap. Mark's lifeless body crumpled, his head dangling at an unnatural angle.
Oh my god.
Sarah sobbed. They ran faster. They reached the cemetery gate and pushed, but it wouldn't budge.
We're trapped!
Lisa shrieked. The ghost hovered closer, the air around it thick with death. Sarah, in desperation, screamed.
We're sorry. Please, let us go.
The ghost paused, its invisible gaze locked onto them.
You have disturbed my rest. One must stay behind, or you all shall die.
The ultimate choice. Terror filled their hearts. Kevin, breathing heavily, whispered.
Someone has to stay.
Adam looked around, panic in his eyes.
We can't do this. Can't.
Kevin suddenly grabbed Sarah and shoved her forward.
Take her.
He yelled. Sarah stumbled, eyes wide with betrayal.
Kevin, you bastard!
But before she could run, the ghost's shadowy arms wrapped around her, pulling her into the darkness. The remaining three felt the gate suddenly unlock.
Go.
Adam shouted. They bolted out of the cemetery. As they reached their car, they turned back. Sarah was gone. The ghost had vanished. The cemetery stood silent once more. The aftermath days passed, but Sarah was never found. The police dismissed their story, calling it an accident. Mark's body was discovered, but they ruled it as a freak accident in the woods. Kevin, overwhelmed by guilt, started hearing whispers at night.
You betrayed me.
Lisa and Adam refused to talk about that night. But Kevin, one night he woke up to find his bedroom door open. Cold air seeped in, and standing at the foot of his bed was the headless ghost. The last thing Kevin ever heard was a bone-chilling whisper.
Now, it's your turn.
The next morning, his body was found in bed, with his head missing. This is the end of the story. If you have any horror stories, feel free to share them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and click the like button. See you in the next video, and sleep well if you can.